I understand, and listen. We all know how great he is. He's probably, you can't put him ahead of Brady because Brady's won 5,000 games, and he's only played in one Super Bowl. So to be fair, and he's had a couple of spotty moments in postseason play. The Giant game, he wasn't good. At Seattle, he wasn't good. So you got to keep that, at San Francisco when Kaepernick outplayed him, he wasn't great. Yeah, you have to put that in perspective to a degree. But the performance yesterday by Aaron Rodgers in the second half, he came out there, did a tremendous job. I mean, nobody will argue that. He was gimpy. He did an absolutely superb job. Nobody's going to dispute that. Now the Bears helped. And that's another reason why the Mac thing is overrated. I know Mac was Lawrence Taylor in the first half. How'd it work out for the game? I'd rather have 4 players who are good than one great player. Mac, in the second half, the Bears defense stunk. Which, after Al and Collinsworth waxed poetic about Mac forever, did they say anything about the Bear defense that Mac was on in the second half? When that defense fell apart, and that defense last year at the Raiders was 23rd in the league, one of the worst defenses in the league, even with Mac on it. But having said all that, nobody is going to dispute Rodgers. He did a superb. Now, he was lucky, and that's why Peter King calling it the greatest game in history of Aaron Rodgers' career. I totally disagree. If Fuller doesn't drop a pass that my 12-year-old could have caught, nobody's going to discuss this because Fuller has to have that pick. That's all there is to it. No even an issue. But my bigger issue is Collinsworth and Al, and really the whole NBC broadcast. Now, I understand. Carted off and he came back and played. You would have thought that he was Audie Murphy, the way they went unbelievably over the top on Aaron Rodgers. Oh, it made me sick. Enough, gentlemen. Stop. Al bringing up Willis Reed. Willis Reed played 2 minutes in that championship game, scored 2 baskets against the Lakers in Game 7, and barely could move with that bicep injury. Probably had surgery after the year. Rodgers is playing next week, for crying out loud. Wasn't like Rodgers went on the operating table today, and it's gone for the year. I mean, maybe the injury wasn't as bad. Obviously wasn't as big a deal as we thought. But Collinsworth and Al went way, way above it. Oh, it drove me crazy. Collinsworth, who doesn't have an edge to him, and that is where Collinsworth probably, to my eyes, falters as a great broadcaster. There's no edge to Collinsworth. Everything is phenomenal. He's so Pollyanna. Now, listen, he did get on the Patriots for the play in the Super Bowl, gets on Seattle for the play in the Super Bowl with the play with Russell Wilson, so he deserves credit for that. But he doesn't have an edge. Everything is the greatest thing in the world. And Collinsworth for 20 minutes and Al following along went absolutely waxed poetic to a point I almost vomited. Enough already. I understand. I mean, my God. You got him out to be John Wayne, stagecoach, 1939. Can we mellow out a little bit? Obviously, he wasn't as hurt as much as you guys thought. He came out and played the whole game and then told Michelle Tafoya, as soon as the game is over, I'll be out there next week against Minnesota. I mean, my God, and put some of the blame on the Bears. Can you put a little blame on the Bears? Who were absolutely mind-bogglingly atrocious in the second half, including Mac, who stopped running after Randall Cobb in the end zone? My goodness gracious, it just made me I couldn't take it. And again, listen, I understand that NBC, Rodgers, we understand that it didn't look good at the carted off the field, down 20-0, season up in smoke. I get that. But obviously that was not a good look because he came out in the second half and directed 3 touchdown drives and was superb. So obviously the look that you tried to portray to us in the first half was a little overrated. He's under the cape. He's in the tent. He's caught it off. I mean, God, you made it sound like that. I mean, he lost a leg. And then he comes back and you wax poetic to the point I'm vomiting. And enough of Danica Patrick pictures, please. I've seen enough of Danica Patrick to last a lifetime. I don't need to see Danica Patrick every 5 seconds in the broadcast. She's not her husband yet, by the way. Not her wife yet. Enough of their boyfriend, girlfriend. Enough. I mean, I know Danica Patrick, is reputed to be beautiful. Why, I have no idea. But reputed to be beautiful. Do I have to see Danica Patrick in the Packer booth every single play? I mean, my gosh, almighty, enough. Enough. Pandering. My gosh. And Collinsworth, who, listen, he knows his football. He works hard. Nobody's going to, but have a little edge. A little edge. And how about somebody getting on Trubisky, who, by the way, after that game, stuck up the joint. Couldn't make a play, 8 straight incompletes in the last 2 minutes of that game after that late hit by Clay Matthews. Threw for 20-something completions for 170 yards. How about we get on him a little bit? That was an horrendous performance for a number 1 pick, for crying out loud. Now, listen, I understand that, you got to give the guy a little break, but still, that was horrendous. And the play calling was terrible. 3rd and 2 at the 16-yard line with a 2:20 to go and they only have any timeouts left, and they throw the ball. Al did indicate that he was a little puzzled by the call, but, geez, run the ball there. My God. But the bigger issue is I can't take 25 minutes, Audie Murphy. I can't take that. I can't take it. And then obviously, Rodgers very cryptic to Foye at the end. He had no idea what the story was. Very cryptic. Drove me crazy. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. And then Peter said today, it's the greatest game Rodgers ever played. Peter, he won the Super Bowl. I mean, he was the MVP. I'm sorry, Week 1 against the Bears, who aren't exactly the 41 version with or the Butkus Bill George version. I mean, let's take it easy. And the greatest game he's ever played. My God, please calm down. And I know Peter's revved up now with Rodgers because of the Bart Starr thing and the pre. I know that right now he's in love with Aaron Rodgers, which I get. We all know he's great. But, geez, if Fuller doesn't drop the pass, we don't even have a discussion about this. My God. So that gives you something else to chew on here as we continue. 10 after the hour, we continue. Mad Dog Unleashed.